And who could ever forget And the Haze Will Take Us. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of mine. This time I'm back with season 1, episode 8 of And the Haze Will Take Us. Y'all, honestly, I forgot what happened. I think I was being a little too messy, I'd say. And I was playing with VOLOT and OZAR. I hope that was his name. You all know by now how awful I am with names. I am happy though. I'm using the Diamond Rush. I got spoiled somewhere. And I was so happy to see that it wasn't just some fake news. Like, there's actually a Diamond Rush, and I decided to use that. I had sorta last night a mental breakdown, wrote with my comment section a bit, and they managed to cheer me up. Who would have thought? Me. And now I'm even more perked up and I'm hyper, and I'm so happy to continue the story and share it with you all. So let's see. You can't kick out someone who thinks themselves the master. OZAR. I sometimes don't even know what to feel about the story anymore. Like, I kind of came here for the storyline, but now the storyline becomes a little messy. And I can't really wrap my head around it. Are we still looking for the death of our sister or not? After what her ex-best friend said. Right now, I'm just here for, like, the plot. And the plot are the boys. I hope you all know that. Episode 8, get out. Me. Every single day. Oh my god. Simona and Varia were lying on the grass, looking at the clouds drifting overhead. Oh god, are we having hallucinations? Varia tickled her sister with a blade of grass, lost in her thoughts. What are you thinking about? Love. She gave a soft musical laugh. That it has brown eyes. Simona raised herself on her elbows to say something, but she was distracted by Mylan running toward them. Brown eyes. DRAGAN. He shouted across the clearing, waving a bundle over his head. Are you hungry? Fresh bread. Mylan kneeled down and excitedly began unwrapping the cloth. It's still hot. My mother gave us a lot of treats. They dug into the meal. Y'all, it just feels so strange that Mylan is, like, gone. It actually gives me back flashes to when Eastman suddenly showed up in the river dead. Ooh. Carrots. I'm gonna go with these. They look delicious. Simona, you look happy today. Simona, you look so good today. Happy. Yes, She started to say something, but she felt embarrassed by her words that hadn't yet escaped, but were already on the tip of her tongue. Words that made no sense when Mylan and Varia were around. There was something wrong with her thoughts. What are we thinking about? Our birthday is coming soon. Varia took her sister's hand and looked tenderly into her eyes. I've prepared a gift for you. Really? What kind of gift? Not a shock. I'll tell you now. Varia leaned over and whispered something quickly in Mylan's ear. They laughed. What are you up to? They kept laughing. Oh, hell no. You be keeping me out of there. Like, I am insecure as fuck. Like, don't let the facade fool you. Like, especially in a group, usually I'm much more of the quiet one because, like, a huge group of masses where I have the feeling that, it's kind of like a forced activity that I'm surrounded by all those people, but if they could, they would wish me away. I feel extremely uncomfortable in my own skin, so I fall silent. And then I would become like the person, as in the outcast, in the group. Like, why are you in a group? Because it's supposed to be all of you together, and not you actually being the outcast in a group. Like, imagine you being the outcast in a group of outcasts. Goddamn. Like, that's when something, like, just goes wrong. And especially if you then have the feeling that you need to fight for the attention of your friends, then I'm out. Like, if you start laughing and laughing confidently with each other, like so confidentiality between the two of you, the synchronicity, the proximity rising, and I'm just like in the back, like having to stare at you all hitting it off. Meanwhile, I start to feel extremely uncomfortable. No, I'm leaving. Don't tease me. Come on, tell me. You're better than me, cuz. Alright. You want me to tell you? Tell me. Varia leaned over to her. Simona felt Varia's breath and the touch of her cold lips on her earlobe. I'll give you... I did not see that one coming. Did not see that one coming. And no. I don't even have words for that. My death. Simona recoiled from her and looked at Mylon. He was sitting with his legs tucked under him, looking at her with his head tilted to the side. I killed her. That's my gift to you. The heck, not us having a nightmare. Oh god. You're better off without her, aren't you? Dragan is yours now. We always had the crush, goddamn. Isn't that what you wanted? Oh my god. No, fuck no. God, no. I don't know about y'all, but when I used to have like these huge ass nightmares when I was little, especially since I was extremely sensitive back in the day, at least I'm gonna consider myself as such, I couldn't deal with the nightmare, so I was forcing myself to wake up, you know? Like, I felt it in my gut, I needed to wake up, I knew I have to wake up, this is a dream, it can't be reality, and I was forcing myself awake. I don't know if you guys did that, or you just couldn't help but allow the nightmare to pass, or if you also assaulted in your dreams, and you immediately woke up. Simona jumped to her feet, she looked at the food she was eating. Oh. Spit it out! Me! The taste of mold and decay followed her mouth. A lump rose in her throat, preventing her from screaming. Simona backed away. A sinking realization washed over her, so strong that it felt as if something deadly had filled the entirety of her stomach. Each time Simona tried to take a breath, it felt as if she was being pulled down to the bottom of an icy river. Why did you come to me in my dream? Who are you? Malin got to his feet. The murderer. Not today, my good sis. The murderer. She flailed her arms frantic. Oh god, her hair was plastered onto her face and several thick strands wrapped around her neck like a tight robe. Simona was panting and shivering, drenched in a cold sweat. She realized that her dream was receding, fading away, but she couldn't open her eyes and couldn't stop screaming until she felt Dragan's hands! This bitch is here! Dragan's hands. Now again, am I considering you a stalker or not? Time will tell. Her eyes opened slowly. Are we seeing a fine-ass view? What? Pin me to the bed, daddy. Why not? I'm gonna be a very bad girl. There needs to be a reason why you need to punish me after all. In times like these, ladies and gentlemen, we don't go to confession, we don't go to church, we don't confess our sins, we are the baddest bitches of all time and then allow our partner, to do all the punishing. No punishment has been sweeter. The room was immersed in half shadows, hardly pierced by the first rays of the sun. Dragan's fingers, wrapped in stripes of linen cloth, squeezed her shoulders tightly but carefully, pressing her down into the bed. Simona turned her head warily and looked at them, trying not to cling to something real and not to drift back into that dream that wouldn't let her go. The bandages covered his cuts and burns tightly, as if holding his skin in place. His burns? What did he do? Each layer of fabric was a reminder of the pain that Dragan had to endure, of how stubbornly his hands turned cold metal into tools. I don't know the profession in English. I know what he does. Okay. Like, he forges weapons. Okay. Oh God, but that must be such a heavy work too. Like, imagine you need to burn the metal so that you can form it into a knife or into a dagger. And then again, you need to hold it because you can't touch it. Like, you're gonna burn your hands. So you need to use like this special weapon, almost like the special tool that is used to hold the blade. And then you need to put it onto like something hard, like the front part of the sword, so that you can wield it. Goddamn. Could his hands do something similar to her body? What about her soul? Are you saying if he could shape your soul? Or if he could, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna keep that thought to myself. Simona closed her eyes, banishing those thoughts. Nah. We are here to stay. These thoughts are here to stay. The air was heavy with the scent of hot metal and fresh wood. Dragan brought that scent with him. He leaned over her. Simona was still shaking after the nightmare. Honestly, how can you enjoy such a thing, especially if you like being shaken awake with such a dream, like with such a awful vision? Your sister and blaming you for her death, her saying, yeah, congratulations, you can be with the man that I wanted to have since I'm out of the picture, and your best friend being like, that's my gift to you, her death. You're welcome, by the way. Her breathing was still ragged, her wide open eyes fixed on his face. Nah, I would have let my eyes wander down to his pants, wondering if something is rising, first off. Second off, I would, he's holding our hands, so that's not possible, but I would still have seized the opportunity, just to let my hands slide down. Have we seen his body? Now, the third thing, I wouldn't be capable to tell him to leave. I would have tried to find ways to pull him closer. This man is not literally on top of us, he's not straddling us. I would have done something with my legs. Where are you going? Dragan's rough hands kept holding her gently, almost tenderly, preventing her from slipping away or getting up. Why don't you want me to get up? Leave me be. In moments like these, we just want a hug. Simona felt the warmth of his body, his heat seeping through her thin nightgown again. Was he stalking us? How is it possible that he's allowed to go into our bedroom? All she could say came out in a ragged whisper. What will my father say if he sees... if he finds you here? Their bodies were pressed against each other as if frozen before a real caress. Girl, do not actually let this reality of the situation sink in, because he's a pussy. He will get up the first chance he gets. That's why you always seize the opportunity. Because when a man is impulsive, he acts by his emotion. And when you actually bring reasoning into this, they're like, no, I can't, it's forbidden, or whatever it is that they're struggling with, and that stops them from actually moving forward. You don't actually bring reasoning into this. You don't bring reality into this. You immediately take the bull by the horns and you make out, because that's what he actually wants. Don't bring reasoning into this. You're gonna ruin it. Simona's hand slid hesitantly over his chest. Wait, what? Y'all, I was just being dramatic. He shuddered as if in pain and closed his eyes. Nah, this man is actually turned on. That's when someone shudders. Simona felt his muscles flex under her finger. She summoned all her strength and pushed him away. Dragan instantly surrendered, as if he had been waiting for that. He was waiting for us to push him away, y'all. This little bitch! She wanted him gone. The fuck? As soon as he pulled away, her courage returned. She shot him an angry look, as if defending her wounded reputation. Okay. As if actually being hurt, her Poor wounded reputation. What kind of reputation does she have? People see her as a loner. You know what? Never mind. What are you doing here? You were screaming. His voice was deep and hoarse. Of course, again, you turned him the fuck on. Someone only shudders under someone's touch when you turn them on. If not, they would either not react or they would immediately let go of you. Are you sick? He gave her a strange look. I wish it was so. Yeah, you are worse than an illness, I'm afraid, babe. This man is invested. It's not an illness anymore. It's hard reality. Simona pulled the blanket up to her chin. Girl, you have nothing. What are you trying to cover? I don't understand. Noticing her movement, Dragan backed up to the door and looked away embarrassed. Not you making it embarrassing for the both of you. Goddamn. He's once doing something good for us, hearing us scream, so he's there trying to comfort us, trying to make sure we're okay. And then she pulls him away like that. You're burning up. You were screaming. Bad dream. He's not having us. Very bad. Dragan looked up at her again. You want to make a priestess out of you? Word travels fast in the village. Now I'm pretty sure, since he's always working with our father, I'm pretty sure our father told him. Do you think that's what that is about? What's going on with you? Why did you get involved in all of that? Because I can. You're making a mistake. And how will you know? You wouldn't understand. Simona remembered various words from her dream. Did I really want Dragan to be mine? Yes. I want all of these fine-ass men to be mine. VOLOT, DRAGAN, the list can continue. OZAR is slowly wrinkling his way into my heart, I have to admit. He came off as a fucking stalker. But the more I get, to see a different version of him, the more I, start to appreciate him more and more. The competition is tough, Dragan. Why did my sister say that to me? Or was it not her, but evil spirits? You can't really always pinpoint it at spirits. Dreams are always supposed to mean something. And in my eyes, a dream is supposed to just show what you feel subconsciously. You don't want to admit to yourself, sort of, that's a selfish part of you. The part that wanted to have Dragan for yourself. Doesn't want to allow yourself to admit that you are partially happy that your sister is out of the picture. Not that she's dead, but that she's out of the picture because you like Dragan. And she always thought that her sister and Dragan would be something because in her eyes, Dragan loved her like her sister. So with her in the picture, she would have never gotten him. Now that the sister is out of the way, she has all her options open, or even worse, my own fantasies, which broke free as soon as I let my guard down. Bing, 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 we have a winner. She looked into Dragan's eyes, searching for passion, or at least the tenderness and gratitude with which she looked at Varia. Girl, I said so much about this already in the last episode. We're gonna continue. But there was nothing there. She always assumes that when someone looks at you in tenderness that they're in love with you, but that's not it. He will never be mine, and I will always be a shadow of Varia to him. I will always be just Varia's sister and Ratmi's daughter. You know that if you need my help, I'll help you, right? The words barely came out, stumbling, as if everything in him resented that promise. I don't need your help. She said it lightly and firmly, but her throat closed up with bitterness and regret. Ooh. I'm really starting to figure out these characters. Dragan smiled rarely. He nodded. He wouldn't expect anything different. I keep forgetting that you don't need anyone. Ooh, not him being upset. Nah. This man, that's his way of showing that he's worried about us, because he knows what the priests and priestess have to do. And he doesn't want that for us. He wants a different life for us. And actually seeing that we don't care about what happens to us, he feels the need to actually tell us that we deserve better, that we deserve more, or that we are more. And we refuse this man's approaches because in our eyes, this man literally only sees us as a version of Varia, like some sort of replacement for her. Like when he looks at us, he sees our sister, so that's why he can't bring himself like to completely ignore us, but she will always be a shadow to him. And that's not it. No one except Simona held her tongue. Once again, the voice from her dream echoed tauntingly in her head. Do you want to remind him about Varia? Do you want to feel that she has no place in his heart anymore? Honestly, considering the fact he always hated on us, of course that would be like a thought in the back of your mind. I would actually ask that to him further on. Dragan realized whose name she never said. The name that pierced them both like Severo's arrow, holding them fast together but hurting so much. Dragan wanted to pull that arrow out, even knowing that blood would pour from the open wound. I mean, if I remember correctly, in episode 2, he was like this little bitch actually being like, I feel the need to be kind to you because I feel like I owe it to your sister, but that's nothing there, like I don't care about you. But he wasn't the only one trapped. Simona also had to be prepared to rip the arrow shaft out of her chest. You're not the only one who needs Varia. Go away. Her whisper was devoid of emotion and sounded like the hiss of a dying snake. The question mark. Son, are you that dumb? You know what? He's a heterosexual. It's fine. It's a man. It's a man. It's fine. It's fine. Get out. Simona turned away from Dragan, hiding her face. She didn't see the look Dragan gave her. No, he would never be hers. Oof, goddamn. Even if he wanted to make her his, he would never do that. Why not, bitch? That's exactly what I want. He was full of hatred. He'd just destroy her. Oh god, not those demons. Will we look at that, Dragan? Nah, y'all. He's like Malbonte. Sorta. Before everyone comes with me in the comments, like I had those conversations so many times in the past. Malbonte is Malbonte, he is special and he's unique. No one is like him. What I meant to say when I said he's like Malbonte, we all know, and Malbonte said it multiple times. He can't show what he feels. He can't say it. And he's the exact same way. He can't actually be upfront with his emotions. Dragan looked at her shoulders and hair spread out on the pillow. For some reason, he wouldn't leave. He remembered various tears and finally took a step back. Aha! Simona heard the door slam behind him. Not the tears, y'all. But my heart actually broke when the narrator said he remembered various tears. My goodness. My fucking god. Like, I don't know if I want to kiss Dragan or if I want to smack him silly. Like, what is this? This reminds me of the rage I felt when I first watched the first season of the Vampire Diaries. Like, it's always Catherine in the picture. Elena's always the substitute. God damn. I sent him away when he said he needed Varia. She hid her face in the sheet. No. I'm a terrible, terrible sister. No, you're not. Do you really want Dragan to treat you differently? I mean, especially if he has been around, sooner or later you grow fond of a person and you hope that sooner or later they will at least show themselves in a different light when you're around, you know? And if you always remain the same, then you have the feeling that they don't give a damn about you. Simona lay staring at the ceiling, thinking, Tata's right. I'm tormenting Varia, and she's tormenting me. I have to let her go. Let her go for real. She sighed. How many times have I said this to myself? Simona got out of bed resolutely and said out loud, addressing not only herself but everyone who could hear her. This time I'll close that door, and it will never open again. Simona dressed hurriedly. These outfits, y'all, honestly. Ooh, that looks nice. Nah, that's nice. She took a comb and combed her hair a little nervously. Right. But what is this? Oh, that looks cute. Honestly, this seems a little bit too much, even if she has long hair. No, I'm gonna go with this one. It looks kind of cute. I feel like it suits the outfit better. Simona told the priestess about her dreams without going into detail. She said that Varia's spirit or something pretending to be her was haunting and tormenting her. The priestess was concerned after hearing Simona's story. They donned their cloaks and hurried into the forest to perform a ritual and put Varia's spirit to rest to remind her where she belonged after death. The priests and the magus joined them along the way. Of course! They are now completely obsessed with us. Why you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know. Sorry. Simona was glad that she had someone to support her now. She nodded with satisfaction that it wasn't just her family, but the priests as well that she could rely on. Simona tried not to think about Mylan's betrayal. She actually put that to rest too, thinking it was Mylan. But her thoughts kept drifting back to the night before. VOLOT and OZAR gave no sign that they'd had a falling out. They behaved as usual. Of course they do. Oh my god, all of these fucking men. They literally cannot express themselves. They prefer to be stone cold. My god. Not the hair too. God damn. Maybe I just imagined it. Again, it's the same time every single day. Why do I have to buy an option when after that they still change the outfit? They came to a crossroads. The croc path, trampled by people and animals, cut through each other, urging them to go in different directions. The priestess stood in the center and gave the priests a signal. They began unwrapping bundles with many strange, seemingly unrelated objects. Hair, badger, and snake skins, a turtle shell, oh, the turtle, mole paws, and hard hedgehog spines, that bad wings, head, and skin. Never mind. And the list goes on and on. Prickly plants like hawthorn, rosehip, juniper, nettle, mugwort, and thyme, nana. Twigs of willow, hazel, linden, and elderberry. That was everything. Everything. The list never stops. The priestess called Simona over and began explaining to her. Please do. The crossroads, the edge of the field, the junction of pure and impure, the boundary between reality and love. Her hoarse old voice quivered with emotion carried away by the wind. Places like these are perfect for warding off evil spirits or vice versa. She paused, looking into her student's focused eyes. Ask them for help. Have you ever summoned evil spirits? No. She replied firmly. That's what witches do. Oza, who had heard their conversation, looked at VOLOT and frowned, but the priest gave no sign that he had noticed. Why is he looking with those words at VOLOT? Oh, not the sister. Again, all this bullshit. Okay, yeah. It took me a second. Witches may have good reasons for doing that. People aren't gods. They're weak, and if a witch wants to help... Evil spirits are dangerous. Such help might bring new troubles. Don't even think about turning to those forces. Simona defended SIRIN. There was something appealing about her. No. If I'm going crazy for the brother, I can't go for the sister. I mean, I could, but... Honestly, SIRIN is intriguing, yes, but she wouldn't be my favorite, okay? But you know what? Just to add in a few spice, yeah, there was something appealing about her. Go on. The priest created a circle of stones and lit a fire in the middle of it. Gently clasping Simona's wrist, the priestess led her to the circle. VOLOT threw animal skins into the fire one by one, and the fire burst into a bright flame in response. The priestess raised her hands to the sky and began to whisper. Her voice, low hissing, penetrated into the very depths of the darkness. "O dark spirit, invisible power, you don't belong here in the world of light and goodness. Leave us, go into the dark forests, into the cold swamps. There is no way for you here." The trees and even the birds fell silent in anticipation.
"Look at me."
Simona looked up at him obediently.
"No matter what you see or hear, you mustn't let go."
Let go of what? Simona joined hands with the priestess and VOLOT. And the old priest, goddamn, get out of here. VOLOT's mighty figure towered in front of her like an ancient idol carved from stone. You never, ever lose the opportunity to get close to VOLOT, because I feel like this man is the most difficult one to get. His eyes, glowing in the firelight, looked at her with profound, frightening wisdom.
"Don't let go of my hand."
"Not even if you paid me." He held out his hand to her, massive, strong, with calloused fingers rough as the bark of an oak tree. All right. She reached for his hand, embarrassed at this shiver that ran through her. Simona grabbed his hand and squeezed it involuntarily, holding tight. Her hand was tiny compared to the priest's. That's so cute. Simona tightened her grip on VOLOT's fingers. She took a deep breath, feeling her unease fading away. The priest squeezed her hand back, reminding her that he was there for her. He would guide her along the way and help her overcome her fear and doubts. Meanwhile, the ritual continued. The priestess' voice trembled not with fear, but with the ancient power generated by her prayer. Her every word was a blade, a hammer, an arrow fired at the enemy. Her blind eyes stared straight ahead without blinking, looking beyond reality.
"Veria, leave us. Go away. Your place is where darkness and eternal night reign."
Oh my god, we're actually sending her to oblivion. That's really a thing.
"Do not disturb those who live here. Go your way and let your path never cross ours."
Simona felt the cold breath of the uninvited guests, whose shadows crawled around the edges of the circle trying to get inside.
"Don't turn around."
He squeezed her hand again, urging her to listen to his voice. The priestess suddenly fell silent, allowing the ringing silence to claim its rights for a moment. But soon another voice was heard, OZAR's voice. Not losing his grip, the magus threw his back and spoke in an unknown language.
"The language of the gods."
There was power in OZAR's words, the power given to him by greater forces, and the darkness responded to it. It moved, as if in a strong wind getting tangled in the dry branches. It whispered something back, unintelligible and scary. Simona clutched her hands on either side of her, not trusting her body. She was afraid that she would let go accidentally, and the darkness would get into their circle.
"Don't be afraid. I won't let you go."
VOLOT wasn't looking at her as he spoke. You know, sometimes you could also look at me. You know, it's always beautiful to see your face. His gaze and all his attention were focused on the speaking magus. Oza's voice got louder, more demanding. Simona watched him mesmerized, not daring to peer into the darkness of the forest. A woman's scream, similar to Veria's voice, drowned out the prayer of the magus. Full of rage and mockery, that scream was devoid of fear. We do not let go of the circle, bitch. It promised danger. Simona shuddered. Her body wanted to turn around, but she overcame her urge, remembering the priest's order.
"Don't look. Don't react."
VOLOT's fingers gripped her tiny hand. The wind whistled, raising pine needles and dry leaves from the ground. But I'm sorry, can we close our eyes? Because maybe that would actually give us a little bit much more of confidence, you know? They swept up in a whirlwind, surrounding the ritual circle, but like the evil spirits, didn't dare to cross its border. Oza didn't stop talking, but even his voice betrayed tension. The scream sounded again from the opposite side. It was like a game, but who was playing with them and why? Simona noticed some movement behind the magus. Involuntarily, she glanced there and saw a woman. Oh no, girl. Uh-oh. They told you not to turn around. That also means not look outside. Naked with long black hair, she peeked out from behind one of the trees. Simona whispered, "That's not Varia."
It's a marriage, a deception. Don't believe it or close your eyes.
Period. So you can't close your eyes. She tried her best, but something stronger than her, stronger than the voice of the magus, was calling her. Can you just oh my god. First you ask for help, then you are warned about the consequences, and you are warned that you need to be a strong-ass bitch, and you are acting like a little weak pussy. It urged her to open her hands, to follow it, but Simona didn't trust that call. Do not break the damn I'm gonna strangle her if she does. She just watched. Don't even watch like you're giving that shadow power. What the fuck is going on? What the hell? Leave. Simona felt warm hands touching her, and that warmth burned her insides. She recoiled, breaking the circle, and taking a few steps back, lost consciousness. This woman is such a weak-ass bitch. Path of the Haze.
Follow me.
Path of determination, goddamn.
But you won't listen, right?
I'm a strong-ass bitch. You gotta be.
Even if you take the others down with you. Stubborn. Why don't you want to hear anyone's voice but your own?
Let me be the... Let me be the strong-ass bitch in my story. Like, I'm the main character in my story. In my world, I'm the main character. Just accept it, goddamn.
Wake up, Simona, wake up.
The priest bent over Simona, trying to bring her back to her senses, but she didn't respond to their calls. She heard a different one. Oh my god. Oh, that's what's happening in reality. Simona woke up in Volot's arms. Not yet aware of what she was doing, she clutched his shoulders and pressed her forehead against his firm chest, frightened. The priest wrapped his arms around her and pressed her closer to him so that she wouldn't slip to the ground. His embrace was warm and tender. Oh. Simona felt safe in his arms, like inside a cocoon. She wasn't scared, but for some reason her body responded to the vision with a warm shiver. When her mind cleared, Simona realized that she was standing pressed against the priest, but didn't immediately pull away. She allowed herself a moment to enjoy the feeling of safety and loving care. Volot is so gentle with you. Have you noticed? Yes, I have noticed. Thank you very much for that, Volot. Like, your fine ass will be rewarded.
You can't let her go.
Ozar's cold, commanding tone stirred Simona, and she recoiled in embarrassment. Simona stood up, feeling a bit dizzy and unsteady on her feet.
How are you feeling?
Volot held out his hand to catch her if she fell again. Oh, Simona smiled gratefully, albeit somewhat tightly, but her smile faded as she saw the concern in the priest's eyes. Is he worried about me? Of course. Girl, technically you make part of their squad, so...
You'd better sit down.
Simona sat down on a rock and nervously fixed her disheveled hair. It was... I don't know what it was.
Perhaps you saw the evil spirits.
She shook her head. No, it wasn't an evil spirit or a ghost. It was something else.
What was it then?
A vision.
Of the gods?
No, not the gods.
What then?
Well, let her think! I don't know. Something that doesn't belong in our world. Simona tried to remember the woman's face, sort out the incoherent flashes of memory, and put them all in a single image. Path of High Ties! When she spoke, her voice was surprisingly gentle, almost as if the memory was a pleasant one. She had warm hands, but her warmth is painful, worse than the cold, but that's fine.
Fine?
Simona raised her eyes to the high priestess. I don't think she meant me any harm. She wanted to say something.
Let's leave it for now. We need to complete the ritual.
Can you stand up?
Leave her. We don't need her.
The priestess looked worried. Oh god, she's like, no, we're leaving her there. Like, I don't know about these fucking voices, but they're actually tormenting her. We cannot have all this bullshit on our screen right now. We need to make sure that they never ever try any of this bullshit again. Goddamn. They wanna watch them worship nature and then destroy the stone circle. Have I ruined everything again? What's wrong with me? You're a weak pussy! Sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, of course, if everything would go according to plan, the story would be boring and everything, but still. In my eyes, if you have been warned, you need to stick to it. You need to actually put your act together. Like, you can't be doing all of this. They huddled around the fire. VOLOT dragged some old logs near it so that they wouldn't have to sit on the ground. Simona warmed her spread fingers, letting the heat of the fire lick her palms, and listened to the priest's words of advice.
You're too young and inexperienced to understand visions. They can scare and confuse you. You have to be careful with them, or you will get lost in the haze sent down on you.
What if I don't get lost? How do I avoid it? Honestly, at this point, like, what if I don't get lost? What if I'm actually capable to control what the haze throws at me? Does that make me special? Well, I broke a twig in half and threw both parts into the fire.
The haze doesn't spare anyone.
Imagine if we could actually be capable, like, to control the haze. Like, who actually gets killed inside the haze and who doesn't. Goddamn. Imagine the power.
You're naive if you think you can handle it.
Oh, VOLOT is being a bitch again. Please keep it coming, VOLOT. I like to appreciate every single character you have. VOLOT looked at her sharply, urgently, as if warning her. He's like, you tried and you die, bitch. God damn, I love this. I mean, I love to see, like, this versatile character. Like, there are people that are just cutie pies. To put an example in here, like Dino. Again, I will always have to bring him up. And then there are, like, bitches. You know? But, like, these fine bitches. Like Amrit. Like Cain. Like Malbonte. Partially Lucifer. You know? And then there are these versatile characters. They're like a mixture of Cain, Dimitri, Malbonte, and Dino. Christian from Kali, Flame of Samsara. Like, their versatility. There's versatility in there. And in my eyes, you can work a lot more with the versatile character. Like, but what can I do? Like, I'm drawn to the dark side. Like, hate me. Simona hesitated slightly before asking her next question, but the priestess waited patiently, and she eventually said, but these visions, when your sister died, did you also see her spirit? This priestess was silent for a long time, looking into the fire. Her blind eyes, shrouded in a grey veil, reflected the flames. It seemed that spirits were dancing in it, giving a glimpse into the other side of reality. Finally, the priestess answered, and her answer was short.
No.
I'm sorry.
Do not pity the dead. It will only make it harder for them. Be glad that they were destined to visit this world, even if not for long. My sister left when the gods wanted her to.
Her words sounded ominous. It was quiet and peaceful in the forest, but Simona didn't feel relieved. In spite of herself, she kept looking for the silhouette of the woman between the trees. VOLOT, can I visit SIRIN today? The priest nodded, not looking at her. He didn't seem happy about her request, but why? Girl, you don't go into the lion's den.
Why do you want to go see a witch?
VOLOT's upper lip twitched threateningly. You do not touch family.
Don't call her that, Magus.
Oof. Ay.
Then don't call me Magus.
Two bitches fighting out here, y'all. Let's toss VOLOT and Magus into the wind. Like, let's throw them into a nice little ring. Who wins? Who wins? OZAR or VOLOT? OZAR tilted his head, looking into VOLOT's angry face.
And we won't call you a priest. She's a witch. What's wrong with calling a spade a spade?
OZAR.
Ozar smiled, staring intently at VOLOT. They are little bitches trying to find out who's the biggest one. Can't we, smack both of them?
Stay away from her.
Huh? He slowly shifted his gaze to the... Ozar, baby. Something you want to tell me?
But take the risk.
Is SIRIN really as dangerous as they say? Y'all, what can I say? We always walk into the lion's den. Volot suddenly rose to his feet.
Let's go.
Now?
Yes, we have a long way to go and I still have work to do.
No, he just wants to leave because he's tired of Ozar's, remarks about his sister. Yeah, even she was done. Volot put the skull back on his head, brushing wood chips and pine needles off his clothes. He headed into the forest. Simona stood up in confusion and turned to the others. Thanks for your help.
Go.
Simona smiled at them, waved her hand, and ran after the figure, quickly disappearing into the distance. Ozar, goddamn! Now we get his point of view. I'm sorry, just to put it in here, we keep on seeing it from this man's point of view. Is he our soulmate in the story? The priestess turned her gaze to the old priest and he nodded and left. Left alone with her grandson, she was in no hurry to start a conversation. Oza chuckled. He knew what she was up to.
Come on, say it.
Oh my god, Ozar, what's wrong?
Are you worried about it?
Her? Bye! Goddamn. Honestly, I'm living.
Shouldn't I be?
Be careful when opening your heart.
Oh, even she knows! Even she knows! Goddamn! Oh my god, what is this? Has he talked about us before? Or was the first episode on our birthday the first time he actually saw us?
My heart is open only to the gods.
Lies.
Don't disappoint me, bad boy.
Hold up. As the messenger of the gods, he can't open his heart to the earthly plane? As in to humans?
You're using me.
I'm not forcing you to do something you don't want to. I'm just channeling your energy.
Oza took a handful of soil and threw it into the fire. It spluttered, but it didn't go out.
Are you ready to give all of me to the gods?
Oza!
You'll do it yourself.
Why would he? So literally, he's not just a messenger. At this point, he actually gives off the vibes of actually being the Weasel. He's the Weasel of the gods. The gods can give him visions that can make him see things, and he will have to comply, or else the people that he has around him in the present will have to suffer the consequences. Because these visions could save lives, and if he's not ready to be open to them, someone in the present pays for it. These ghosts are petty.
Will I?
Yes, my boy. You are already doing more than you have to.
Oza threw another handful of soil into the fire more aggressively the second time, as if taking out his frustrations on it. I mean, finding out that your life is not your own, the heck. But his voice remained calm, almost tender.
As you command, High Priestess.
Another handful of soil flew into the fire, but the flame didn't go out that time either.
It's a bad sign.
We need to repeat the ritual.
No, you can't kick out someone who thinks themselves in charge.
Ah?
So what do we do?
Protect the village at all costs.
Varia is here to stay. She's petty. Simona, thank you. Volot escorted Simona to his house, but paused at the threshold. He took off his skull and placed it under his arm. Lately, he had been talking to the young priestess more and more often without wearing his threatening mask, as if he recognized her as an equal and wanted her to see his face. After feeling that he doesn't want us to be scared of him, so that's why he's taking off his mask, because we remember the first time that we saw him with the mask on, and he kind of was dismissive of us. Simona was grateful to him. She felt like she was part of a special world that mere humans were forbidden to see.
Go ahead.
And you?
I'll come back a little later.
He has unfinished business with Oza. He nodded at the house so that she wouldn't hesitate to go in, and hiding behind the mask of the bull again, headed toward the fog. What is he doing there? He has unfinished business. Goddamn. Are we seeing a different side of Ozar again? SIRIN stood leaning against the table, her arms wide apart. She looked silently at her guest, head tilted in contemplation. Simona smiled nervously, feeling uncomfortable under her scrutinizing gaze. I did not think I'm innocent. Am I interrupting you?
Why are you here?
SIRIN isn't very friendly, is she? Last time you said my sister was following me. Can you... She stopped speaking and hesitated under the witch's piercing gaze. Can you please check again? SIRIN silently turned her back to Simona. Simona was starting to think her request would go ignored, but SIRIN took one of the candles and came out to her. The heat from the burning wick pricked her cheek. Simona looked into SIRIN's eyes. Her pupils reflected the flame. Oh my god!
Maria doesn't follow you anymore.
Are you sure? Did the ritual help?
Well, she's definitely not here right now.
Simona felt relieved and disappointed at the same time. Empty.
Ask the dragon to make you bronze bear fangs.
Ooh.
They protect against evil spirits.
Simona shrugged her shoulders. She didn't want to ask the dragon for such a thing. SIRIN put the candle back in its place. She stared at her hands for a while, lost in a maze of thoughts, then said,
Go use our bathhouse. You'd better clean up after the ritual.
How does she know about the ritual? Did she guess or did VOLOT tell her already? She's a witch. She may be able to sense such things. I really could use a sauna. Suggest using the sauna together. Y'all, this story is actually something. Should I? I mean, you all know I'm messy. Suggest using the sauna together. Come on. If I go down, we're all going down. Father will get worried if I ask him to heat the bathhouse. But I feel the clammy layer of evil spirits that stuck to me during the ritual. I don't want to drag around with me the breath of the dead. Simona smiled gratefully. Thank you, I'd love to. Would you like to come with me? SIRIN looked up at her in surprise.
Are you sure?
Honestly, I'm just intrigued to know where this is gonna go. Simona tilted her head in confusion. About what? SIRIN grinned, not taking her slightly narrowed eyes off Simona.
I don't know. Let's go.
Oh, that looks so cute. They lit the stove, adding more firewood from time to time. When the stones got hot, they waited for the fire to die down. Then they took the coals and ashes outside, wiped the soot off the windows, and covered them with wooden shutters. SIRIN splashed some water on the heated stove and called her guest.
All set.
The bathhouse was a small log cabin with one window. The crevices between the logs were plugged with moss and wood resin. Simona ran her hand over them before entering the changing room. SIRIN took off her dress. Taking off her clothes, Simona glanced involuntarily at the naked body of the witch. SIRIN had full breasts, so really? Nah, she's not a woman. Of course, why wouldn't she? Slightly sagging under their own weight, with dark, perky nipples. Not them actually in detail expressing this. We better have a nice scene. Her waist was slender with small rounded stomach, and her subtle legs were used to walking long distances. Simona looked away when she realized that she was staring at SIRIN. She took off her clothes and turned to the witch. SIRIN also looked at her body, but openly and without lingering on anything. Simona felt her heart pounding in her chest, responding with frantic beats to SIRIN's gaze.
Come on.
SIRIN wasn't shy, and she didn't seem embarrassed. She acted as if she was still wearing the dress that hid her from chin to toe. Her round hips swayed, softening each step and making it weightless. They entered the bathhouse. They were greeted by a warm, slightly musty smell. Simona sat down on a wooden bench, feeling the heat envelop her thighs and get under her skin. The steam gradually filled the room, enveloping them in a thick cloud. Moist air entered her lungs, making the blood boil in her veins.
How do you like it?
It's warm. I like her hair.
That's not what I meant. How do you like being a priestess?
What should I say? It's a bit scary. It is scary, yes, but I want to know more. Like, it seems interesting. I haven't been initiated to all mysteries yet. SIRIN stretched out her legs and tilted her head back. A bead of sweat fell from her temple and landed between her breasts. It rolled down slowly to her stomach and then to her navel. Simona followed it spellbound, and when she looked up, she saw that SIRIN was looking at her face. Not all this shyness. Now that you're all ready to make it together in here, you're shy? You should have been shy when you took off your clothes. Simona brought her knees together. That didn't escape the witch either. She smiled for some reason, of course. Like, you feel the need to actually close your legs when you feel that you are getting turned on. Because a woman gets wet, so she feels the need to close her legs. Like, you hope that kind of stops it all. SIRIN tilted her head back, looking at the ceiling.
Be careful with them.
What's this feeling inside me? With VOLOT too? Simona cleared her throat when she heard an unexpected hoarseness in her voice.
Yes, with them too. They're all blinded by faith and hope.
What about you? What do you believe in?
Nothing. I no longer believe in anything.
SIRIN scooped up water drawn from a forest spring.
Let me help you.
Simona turned her back to SIRIN. SIRIN moved closer, pressing her breasts against Simona's shoulder blades for a moment. Simona arched her back. She stood rooted to the spot, her body burning harder than a blazing furnace.
This will feel a little cold.
SIRIN doused her with water. I mean, we need a cold shower after all, so it was cool and refreshing. Simona shivered and laughed, feeling the sudden chill calm down her thoughts. A few drops fell on the stones with a hiss. The moisture evaporated instantly, and the steam rose to the ceiling. SIRIN filled the pot again and stretched her arms over her head, dusted herself. All right. The water flowed down the curves of her body, making its way along her silky smooth skin. A few drops got lost between her legs, drawing attention to where Simona studiously avoided looking. That's hilarious. She couldn't understand the reason for her excitement. In the past, she hadn't felt any shyness or curiosity about women's bodies. But there was something scared, alluring, mysterious about that silence. I created a bi queen, apparently. Y'all, hello. I mean, if I already picked that option back in the day, let me have a few moments here and there. A lot of people also wanted me to do Mimi. But there was something scared, sacred, alluring, mysterious about that silence. Something right and wrong at the same time. Suddenly the door opened and a naked VOLOT entered the bath. Oh yes, you like SIRIN and not just as a friend, but you haven't realized it yet. Right. When he saw them, he quickly covered his groin with his hands. Bye. You know what? Actually, being sandwiched between two siblings, that's something else. Not the... What is this? Like if you, alright then. That's not a hand that he's using. These are some, I don't know, flower petals, whatever it is.
What are you doing here?
SIRIN turned to him, unashamed of her nakedness, while Simona huddled in a corner trying to cover herself with their hands. They lived together, and they used the sauna together. They must have seen each other naked many times. Could never be me. Never. Like, my naked body is for me and my future husband. Like, my body's not for my sister to see. Like, what? Looks like VOLOT covered up because of me. No, you can stay, VOLOT. There was nothing wrong with the fact that they used the sauna together, but she felt a stab of jealousy and creeping doubt. What's going on between them?
Didn't you see the smoke? I asked you to hit it for me. I didn't know. Come in, you're letting out all the heat.
VOLOT hesitated, seeing Simona's embarrassed expression. What should I do? Tell him to come in! Let's have a threesome! I mean, I know they're siblings, but like, you get what I mean, right? The sandwich. Simona forced herself to lower her hands, which had been hiding her naked breasts, and sat up straight. Without looking up, she said, "You can enjoy your sauna." Volot came in, his eyes fixed on her. "Look at me, please. Let me feel the heat again." He sat down between the women, still covering his groin with his hand. "Son, if your friend is rising, there's nothing that could cover that up." SIRIN chuckled at his modesty.
I never knew you were shy.
Of course, SIRIN would actually make fun of him. Of course. Slowly, his face turned toward her. Serious, tense. SIRIN laughed softly. Simona straightened up nervously, unable to keep still. Tension was rising along with the steam. Volot caught into his fist, breaking the silence. He straightened his other arm and pressed his hand to his knee. Obeying a tempting whisper in her head, Simona cast a furtive look to the side. She nodded with relief that his elbow was covering what she wasn't quite ready to see. She swallowed hard. Even sitting down, Volot was clearly tall. His muscles were strong, tense despite the fact that the steam was supposed to relax him. He was reserved and there was a cold gleam in his eyes. In contrast to him, Simona kept fidgeting, smoothing her hair down, trying to cover her nipples, which were hard with excitement, and squeezing her legs together again. The desire. She felt her face burning, either from the steam or embarrassment. SIRIN was the only one who behaved as if nothing special was happening, of course. She could sense the other's tension, and she was amused by it, but at the same time it raised questions.
Was Volot acting like that? Why does he care about the girl's shame?
Ooh! Water dripped softly from the wooden shelves. Y'all, I am creating just such messiness. Such a messiness. Water dripped softly from the wooden shelves, like I'm romancing all of the love interests, y'all. Are we realizing? DRAGAN in the beginning, then OZAR and VOLOT, then the sister, and now the sister and VOLOT. No, y'all. Their skin glistened with sweat, and their nudity, so natural in a sauna, suddenly felt intimate. Simona's eyes met Volot's gaze for a moment and immediately darted away, hiding under her long eyelashes. Volot tried not to look at her and kept his face inscrutable, fearing that any emotion would make that moment even more awkward. Simona was already squirming next to him. He felt as if he was doing something wrong next to her, so innocent and scared. What? It was the first time he'd seen a woman hide herself like that in a sauna. They usually didn't hide their bodies, but Simona was a hermit, just like him and SIRIN. Even though Volot was used to keeping his emotions in check, he felt a strange heaviness in the air. Simona's shyness was contagious. Some unknown force broke through his eyes wall, and he felt his heart beating a little harder than usually in his chest. Nah, this is desire. He could have said something to ease the tension, but the words were stuck in his throat. Like, if you actually have the feeling that you're getting hard, then you actually don't even find any words to say.
You shouldn't be afraid.
Simona jerked up her head at the sound of his naturally rough voice. She sat upright, shifting her seat. An uncertain movement of her hips, her faint breathing, and her rising chest caught his attention. Clenching his jaw, Volot turned away from her and started straight ahead again. My god, just have sex and get it over with. At this point, SIRIN was growing bored. Besides, she was feeling more and more anxious watching their silent conversation. She stood up, reproaching herself for her sudden sadness.
It's getting hot.
Volot nodded, his eyes flashed with worry. He noticed how Simona stood up, how her lips parted, about to utter words she couldn't say.
I should probably go. I'm intruding.
No, you stay. But something held him to the spot, perhaps his own embarrassment or the realization that Simona wouldn't want that. Suddenly, he caught SIRIN's sharp, piercing gaze. It felt no room for questions, cutting off unspoken words along with his skin like a sharp knife.
Here you go.
SIRIN dipped a birch whisk into hot water and handed it to him. Her eyes said something else.
What are you waiting for? Or should I do it myself?
She's like, either you turk her or I will. She actually said, you do her or I will. Volot accepted her terms. The priest rose from his seat and took the whisk from her hands. He waited for Simona to look at him and said,
Turn around.
Simona turned her back to him, trying not to look down. Warm, dried leaves touched her shoulder blades almost weightlessly. She closed her eyes.
Gods help me, how did I get myself in this situation? I'm messy, what can I tell you? Sirin leaned against the hot damn wall watching Volot. She encouraged him even if she knew that she would regret it. What have I done? Honestly, I'm living. If you have the power to make all of them drop at your feet, then you make them drop. Simona felt the priest stroking her back slowly with the whisk. Bye. This actually looks as if he's actually fucking us from behind. What you mean? What is this? And not her actually posing in front of him. What?
Should I keep going?
She nodded, bowing her head to hide a smile. Simona felt his confusion and it warmed her soul. The priest's movements were gentle, careful, so that's what he was like. Volot began patting her with the whisk, lowering it to her butt, then quickly lifting it back to her shoulder blades. Not letting himself touch her, he took a step back and never finished the process as he was supposed to rub her skin. What is this? Yo, what is all of this? But honestly, I love this. Like, explore everything there is. Like, a human body is nothing new. We all have it. Simona turned to him. There was something new in her gaze. Something more than just shame. Smile, look down. Smile? Volot finally realized that it wasn't just her embarrassment that made things awkward, but also his own, even if he was hiding it behind a mask of calm. Something connected the two of you, of course. He turned sharply to Sirin, making no effort to hide his irritation. She had seen everything. She knew everything.
Want to have a go?
Ah! Volot waved the whisk, pretending not to notice the sadness in her eyes. Simona covered her breasts and said, tiptoeing toward the door, I want to cool down. She felt silly but took some comfort in observing that the priest looked no less awkward. But Sirin, her calmness made Simona's stomach crun. Am I sick, or does Sirin also feel excited looking at my body? Honestly, again, the threesome. They should have just had the threesome. Is she watching my breathing as closely as I'm watching hers? And Volot, he's the first man to see me naked. But maybe I'm the intruder. Then I really should go. It's about time.
Hope you enjoyed your sauna.
Sirin said goodbye without even trying to stop Simona. Enjoy your sauna. Simona ducked into the changing room. The door slammed. Volot threw the whisk back into the basin and sat down on the bench. Sirin joined him.
It was as if Leshy was trying to misguide us. Or Bannik playing tricks. Madness. You chose to stay.
Bannik is an evil spirit that is said to live in the bathhouse.
She's afraid of me. She's never seen a man.
You acted like you've never seen a woman either. Wrong. Like, I don't get turned on by my sibling. Incest. That's a thing. I don't get turned on by my sibling. But I can get turned on by someone that I'm into.
That's different. I felt awkward. He
ran his hand over his trimmed hair, the occasional strand sticking out in the wrong directions.
You like her?
Nonsense. I don't like anyone in the Stan village.
But you just like Simona a little less than the others.
Why? Because she dislikes me more, that means she's into me? I mean, I understand what he means when he says that. When you already refuse to let people in, then it's normal that, like, no one is capable to get close to you. Because, like, you have this defense mechanism that actually stops you from getting too close to people. You have this shield in front of you, and that refuses to let people in. So you immediately dislike everyone you see because you feel like they're all fake and whatever. Like, you've seen all the awful things that happen in your life and all of that. So you immediately have, like, this view of people like you can't stand them. And then when you get to know someone that
subconsciously, as in without you actually realizing that you're allowing it, they are moving close to your heart. You hate the fact that you can't stop them from getting close to you. You can't push them away as hard as you try to because they have something that makes you flare up. They have something that actually make you not be capable to deny them. You can't deny yourself the happiness that they bring into your life. So you hate them for not allowing you to push them away. You can't push them away, and you hate that. You can't push them away.
Just like you.
Volot sighed, feeling the suffocating smell of burning stinging in his lungs.
If we stay here, Bannock will steam us to death. Then leave, maybe that's what I'm hoping for.
SIRIN.
Don't be silly.
However, Volot was in no hurry. He didn't want to run into Simone in the changing room. No, please come. Please come. Simone hurried home, still flustered after her escape. Goddamn. I behaved like a wild fox that's embarrassed about the brightness of its fur. But it's not just about my naked body. That's not why I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed by the feelings that flared up in me when I was left alone with VOLOT and SIRIN. She was embarrassed because she wanted a threesome. Their breathing, the heat of their bodies, their heart stares. I mean, if someone has like the capability to make you feel wet with just a stare, like that's power. Simona looked up at the sky as if silently addressing one of the gods. I thought I wasn't like other women. I thought I had no interest in such things. You thought you would never feel desire to have sex? Bitch, where are you coming? Her father was waiting for her at the door, as he always did those days. Doubts and worries were carved into his face, but that day he seemed especially alarmed. She stood beside him and followed his gaze. Ravens circled their house in an endless, ominous round dance. The heck is this? From time to time they opened their scratched beaks, letting out a long, sharp caw. The birds looked in a bad shape, battered by life, with torn feathers sticking out in all directions. It was as if they had crossed the fiery river and risen from the ashes to say something to the living. Nev's ravens.
Don't tell your mother.
Her father picked up a stone from the ground, squeezing it furiously. He wants to chase the birds away. Dissuade him. Simona grabbed her father's hand gently and clasped his fingers. Father, don't. The ravens cawed again, as if in gratitude, and then fell silent. Her father's fingers trembled in her hand.
It's all because of you priests. Ordinary people can be around them. Woe to the one who shares a roof with those whom evil spirits fear.
Do you want me to leave? Her voice was calm and didn't betray the pain that pierced her heart. Catching himself, her father pulled her closer and hugged her to his chest.
No, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant.
He's worried. His hurried whisper calmed Simona's fast-beating heart.
I'll accept you for who you are. I will never turn my back on you.
Not the sad eyes. He's crying.
But Sophia...
We won't tell Mother about anything. Her father squeezed her shoulders gratefully.
Let's go inside to help your mother.
Simona and her mother leaned over their spinning wheels. A barely audible rustle of wool mingled with their muffled voices.
That's it, daughter. Slowly.
Huh? Simona still couldn't be called a craftswoman, but she wanted to be helpful, especially now that she was with the priest from dawn to dusk. They wound the yarn around the wheel. The thread stretched out from under the fingers in the warm glow of the hearth, resembling muckish, weaving their destinies into a single canvas of life. From time to time, Simona raised her eyes to her mother and watched her calm expression. Simona could see no lines and wrinkles on her face, the signs of wisdom gained at the cost of deprivation and suffering. Her hands moved smoothly and confidently, unlike her daughter's. Simona's fingers, not yet so experienced, sometimes hurried, and the thread was uneven.
That's it. Careful.
Huh? Scratching their skin on the coarse cloth, they wove a fabric her mother would use to make shirts and trousers, decorating them with embroidered charms. Mother?
Yes, dear.
Haven't you noticed anything, strange about Hannah?
No, is there something troubling you?
She didn't look up and her hands continued wielding the threads. No, I'm fine. Of course, Hannah has always lived in a world of her own, and yet it would be foolish to think that her whisper was meaningless. So far, I only see torn and scattered pieces of birch bark, but I have to put them together and see the full picture. But I can't confide my fears to my parents, or I would scare them. And I can't reveal all my secrets to the priests. After all, if they see me as a threat to the village, they can send me into the haze instead of protecting me. Until I found out what's going on around me, I should just watch and remember. But when? When will I climb to the top and look at the secrets hidden behind this hill of uncertainty? We will know. Without pausing in her work, her mother began to speak quite softly, and her voice seemed to be woven together with the threads, imprinting itself in that evening and that canvas with an eternal echo.
You have become a priestess.
How do you know?
Every morning I see a raven perch on a branch. It flies away as soon as I look at it. I'm afraid of it, but I wait for it.
Mother, I wanted to tell you everything. I want to know. Her mother raised her eyes and took her daughter's hand. Simona fell silent under the tenderness of her mother's gaze.
I know.
She got up and took a bundle from under the bench.
That is for you.
Simona unwrapped the fabric and let out a small gasp.
I saw you dressed in their clothes. You crossed the village and then disappeared into the darkness of the forest. It looked so important, so unattainable. My little girl found a dangerous path and entered it bravely.
She pressed her hand to Simona's cheek.
Priests wear masks for a reason. You too need to protect yourself.
Simona whispered in a trembling voice, feeling her eyes blur with tears.
Thank you, Mother.
Oh my god. Ooh, I love this. I don't... Black looks nice, but I like the blonde hair. You know what? We're going in all black. Hello? Simona couldn't believe her luck. Now she wouldn't have to avert her eyes when they asked where she'd been or try to find excuses for her absence. Where's father?
Didn't I tell you? DRAGAN is our guest today.
What? Having the boyfriend over for dinner? As if to confirm her words, the door opened. DRAGAN and her father froze on the threshold. Of course they would. Of course. Right. After we told him to get the fuck out. Her father laughed loudly, hiding his pain as if he was trying to silence his worries with the laughter.
Come in.
DRAGAN and Simona looked at each other. They exchanged tense, distracted glances. Simona and her mother stood up to welcome their guest. Her mother went up to DRAGAN, holding out her hands to him and asking about his health, as she always did when meeting him. Then she pressed her lips to his subtly cheek.
Come in, don't stand there.
Is this a special occasion? Her voice was too polite, almost mocking, and her smile couldn't deceive even her father.
Help your mother set the table.
Me, the ice. The fire fluttered lazily in the hearth, illuminating the bare wooden walls. A small table, worn from time, covered with a rough, simple tablecloth, was laden with all sorts of delicacies. Her father seated the guest on the best seat as it was appropriate. Hannah sat on her mother's right, Simona on her left. Hannah chewed silently, acidously moving her jaw. As usually, she didn't care about anything. Her mother treated DRAGAN to sweet kissel and complained that he wasn't eating anything. Her father was looking at DRAGAN with eager eyes, as if he saw him as the son the gods had denied him. He handed DRAGAN a wooden bowl filled to the brim with a strong drink.
Simona.
He nodded to his daughter, casting a cold glance at DRAGAN. She got up and brought hot leavened bread, baked root vegetables, and boiled meat to the table. DRAGAN accepted the drink and bowed his head in gratitude.
Thank you. You're so generous.
He said he wouldn't come, but he lied. I see him in our house more often than Hannah. Simona sat back down. Yeah, you're the reason he keeps on coming back. He just can't say it because he's a douche. There was a faint tension in the air that her father didn't seem to notice. He's always refused to notice Dragan's rudeness. Or maybe my father sees it but condones it for some reason. Is it love for Dragan or pity? Her mother caressed her hand.
Why aren't you eating either?
I'm not hungry. Stay for dinner with Dragan, of course, of course. Neither Simona nor Dragan dared to make eye contact. Why else? Why else? But they both observed each other out of the corner of their eye. Again, just have sex. Just have sex and get it over with.
It is my pleasure to welcome our dear guest by our hearth. Thank you for making time for us.
Come on, eat something.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Simona watched Dragan's movements solemnly, and the weight of her gaze didn't escape the guest. Why are you here? Their eyes finally met. They were equally defiant, as if they were testing each other. The fight for power, it starts. Simona's expression was so eloquent that Dragan understood her without words. They locked eyes in a silent conversation. Her father kept talking about something, but his words faded away before reaching the thought of the young ones.
I'm not here to see you.
Right. Then you can get the fuck out of the door. You said you would visit us less often, but instead you come more and more. No, boy! This is supposed to actually, this is their silent conversation. I'm sorry, maybe I understood it wrong. Are they, whispering to one another, or do they have, this telepathy thing?
You noticed? I thought you were so busy hanging around with the priests and the magus that you hardly see what's going on within the walls of your own house.
Again, jealousy. This is jealousy. You're telling me you can't see it? He keeps on saying I'm not here for you, yet he complains that when he comes, we're always with another guy. Because he keeps on saying the priests and the magus. The priests and magus, that's a guy. There's also a priestess. But all he said was,
the priest performed the ritual again today.
Are you reproaching me for something? Yes! Look at his face. He is not having it.
You're looking for a double meaning where there's no meaning at all. There's so much going on these days, and you've been spending more and more time in the smithy lately. The villagers are worried. Some want a weapon to defend themselves, others want an amulet.
These are troubled times indeed. They fell silent again, but soon her father broke the silence with his deep voice.
The old oak tree is dead. No wonder the priests are silent. It's a bad omen.
And the haze keeps thickening.
The elder says there's nothing to worry about. The haze go by. Nature's changeable, like the human soul. But some are too stubborn to admit it and don't want to move forward.
Dragan was looking only at her father, but Simona realized that his words were directed at her. He's actually so petty. Or maybe some are in too much of a hurry to uproot the oaks despite their roots being strong. It must be easier to focus on tomorrow rather than dealing with what's in front of your eyes right now. It was easier for you to believe that Malin is a murderer. You didn't even fight for the truth. How can you accuse me of being blind like you and the elder? Her father frowned in concern, shaking his head.
This is more than simply a whim of nature. The gods are weak. Something's bothering them. The priests are silent, but I can see them preparing for the worst. Someone has disturbed the peace of our village. Maybe that someone is a young priestess who got lost in the swarm of her dreams.
Are you talking to me? Bitch, I did not come here to sit down and listen to your bitch ass. I have better things to do. I can also sleep. I can also go to the Maggies, to Volot. All of them are way more welcoming than your sorry ass. I'm sorry, but these are the kind of guys that get under your skin and you try to figure out why they're so bitchy, and then there's all this passionate and love story and everything. I fucking hate it.
As someone who ventured into dark waters without thinking about the consequences.
She gave him an equally direct look. Or someone who believes that someone else's path is not as important as his own. Do you think you know where you're going? You unleash your wrath on whoever's heading in a different direction, even if it's your own mother. She should have not taken the mother. In my eyes, when a discussion actually comes off heavy / strong, no matter what happens, you never ever take the parents. Like, especially since in my eyes, the biggest problems start from within, as in inside the family. And we know that he has problems with his mom. No idea what happened between them, but maybe he has the feeling that she abandoned her. I'm pretty sure I said something about his mother back in the day, but I'm quite sure that I forgot most of what happened with his mother. But the point is, he has some sort of trauma when it comes to his mother, and he's not close to her. And in my eyes, no matter how much a conversation goes south, you never ever take the parents. You just don't. It's not alright. And yes, he shouldn't have been such a bitch about it, and he should have just openly said that he's worried and concerned about what us becoming a priestess could actually mean for us personally. And that was just him actually showing that he cares for us, but he had to do it in such a bitchy way, and a lot of people can't read between the lines. So we actually see it as him not caring about us and just mocking us. So we felt hurt, and we felt the need to retaliate by saying something that we knew would hit him. And again, the mother, no. Realizing that the young people were having a conversation of their own, Simona's parents exchanged worried glances. Ooh, Dragan clenched his jaw, but his voice was deliberately calm.
Sometimes you have to let go of what you hold dear if it prevents you from moving forward.
Damn, is he saying that the love his mother had for him was stopping him from unfolding?
And you shouldn't reopen people's old wounds.
Me. He's still angry at me for speaking to his mother. Oh my god, all this fucking BS, I would understand if he's upset that we actually brought his mother into the conversation, but that we talked to his mother, now he's bitchy at it. He's always been a bitch towards us, if I remember correctly. And he keeps on telling us that he never is here because he wants to be close to us, but just because of our father. So why would he give a damn if we talk to his mother or not? He could care less, right? Dragan turned to her father as if resuming their conversation.
The village needs to protect itself from pressing troubles, not looking for ghosts where there are none. We should let go of the past and think about how to survive in the present.
Says you. Oh my god! And we feel the need to always keep on talking about this. What if in order to protect the village you need to hold on to something that's struggling to break free? Sometimes letting go doesn't lead to salvation but to ruin. The smell of herbs and smoke from the stove mingled with the tension that melted with each new glance. Well, Dragan's scornful glance made Simona's mouth go dry with rage. These two, honestly, they give off the vibes of not only enemies to lovers, but this... it's something even more powerful, if you ask me. I'm sorry, they give off kind of Aemon and Eva vibes. This huge ass BS. When her hands reached for the jug to pour herself a drink, their fingers touched for a moment. Was his hand on the jug too? Simona immediately drew her hand back as if scalded. Dragan frowned, slowly gripped the handle and peered into Simona's face as if taunting her, filled first her mug then his, saying,
This won't lead you anywhere good. Clinging to an illusion, you won't see reality as it is. You're blind. You've always been blind.
Blind to your affection towards her? Yes, but you're not making it really easy either for people to understand your motives. And especially if you know that we're in a very vulnerable position, you could also, I don't know, kick yourselves in the nuts and actually talk about how you feel. Simona lightly hit the table and rose from her seat. You have the audacity. Honestly, I'm shipping these two. Fight me.
Fight me in the comments. I'm waiting for the comments. Fight me, I don't care. I'm shipping these two. There is something about them.
That's enough. Dragan, you shouldn't be wandering around this hour. Stay the night.
Right. To make the problem even bigger, of course. Dragan lives very close by. He can leave.
Simona's right. I'm not staying.
Oh, you are? I'm pretty sure that he's insisting.
Don't do this to us. There's plenty of room for everyone.
Like, this actually would remind me of my family. They always feel the need to make everyone, like, see that they are, like, showing nice hospitality. And at the other time, they are not seeing that they're drowning like their children. Like, their needs, their desires. That's fucked up. Like, he can see that we're not having Dragan. Why does he always feel the need to push this man onto us? Her father's voice sounded so firm that neither his daughter nor the guest dared to contradict him. That was the end of it. Having finished eating, Simona went to her room. Bye, bitches. Dragan followed not long after. He knocked softly and entered before Simona could tell him to get out. The fuck is wrong with this bitch? She kept looking at the sky, ignoring her guest. You can leave, like you know where the door is. Don't let the door hit you on your way out, flop. He came up to her quietly and froze behind her. This man, like, he giving me whiplash. I did say he reminds me of Eamon. Like, he can't say what he truly wants. As if he's afraid of being vulnerable with someone. Dragan was silent, so she said, I tried to come to terms with it, but I can't. I'm not like you. I can't cut Veri and Milan out of my life without figuring everything out first. Dragan swallowed his pain and said, surprisingly gentle,
You're going to suffer one disappointment after another on this path.
So be it, but I will know the truth.
It's always ugly.
Since when is the truth beautiful? The truth hurts for a reason. No, those who are afraid to dive into it headlong are ugly. You accuse me of being a dreamer, but you and I are equally blind.
Do you despise me?
You despise me? Or are you telling me that your behavior towards us is normal? Sometimes. I mean, I don't despise him. I would honestly be hurt by his behavior. And I remember that our character is extremely vulnerable because she has always kind of been like the odd one out, everyone singling her out and saying how beautiful Varia is compared to her, as in her personality, like they both look the same. So do I despise you? No. Honestly, no more than myself. I'm often foolish. I'm not used to this. So much has changed.
Do you think the priest will teach you wisdom? Set you on the right path?
Well, sadly, I can count on your sorry ass to teach me something. Simona didn't reply, so Dragan continued.
You know that being a priest is just not just words, not just rituals. It's giving up your life to the gods, to death. Aren't you afraid?
You don't understand. I have nowhere to go. It's not just a choice, it's a call.
Whose call is it? Various?
Why do you care? He came closer, took her arm and turned her to face him. Simona met his gaze boldly.
My mother also heard a call. Not from the Haze, not the gods. Just a damn call. It destroyed a family. Destroyed me. Is that what you want? To lose your mind? You could be happy, not serve unknown forces forever.
Simona felt his breath on her cheek and hesitated for a moment. I don't understand. I thought we wanted the same thing.
What do you want?
His breath scorched her skin again. This man literally, that's him actually showing that he can't refrain himself but want to be close to her. Like, this is you actually allowing your feelings to take charge. He literally stepped into her room, not allowing her to chase him away, and then he slowly started to move closer to her without actually betraying what he truly feels on the inside. He's trying to actually explore his worries by confiding also in her and showing that this also has a huge ass impact on his sorry ass, like on his soul, on his heart. He doesn't want to have to witness with us the same thing that he had to go through with his mother. And by doing that, he can't prevent himself from moving closer to us because the desire is there. I want to know the truth about Mylan and Varia. You miss her too, don't you? Why are you suddenly reproaching me for not letting her go?
And you want me to forget her?
It doesn't matter what I want, does it? Simona thought she was in another terrible dream, where her soul was turned inside out, its every ugly corner exposed under the moonlight. No, what are you talking about? Her voice sounded so small and pathetic that she fell silent.
You talk about her all the time. You remind me of her. What for? They want me to tell you that I've forgotten about her.
Well, I feel like this man doesn't really quite understand why we keep on reminding him of her. In our eyes, we're trying to talk to him about her, hoping that he will let something slip, as in if he has ever had romantic feelings for her, if he's ready to be close to someone that isn't her, if he actually sees us for us and not just as a copy of our sister. Like, and if he's actually close, you're not out of guilt or something that our father is like pushing onto him, but because he actually wants to be here. And he's seeing this as us rejecting him slowly. That we are trying to remind him of our sister so that he will remember that we are not her, as in our feelings are not the feelings that our sister had for him. Our sister liked him.
You're not accusing me of that, you're asking. You're hoping.
Shut up.
Will you kick me out again?
This time with my foot, son. And I will literally kick you so hard in the nuts that you will actually fly out the door. What do you want from me?
Don't you understand?
No, use your fucking words. You have a mouth for a reason. It's not just to masturbate or to lick yourself. No. He parted his lips and Simona thought for a moment that he would confess something she had been waiting for so long, but didn't want to admit. But Dragan was silent as if something was holding him back. Of course, I said that.
I'm sorry. I can't.
Yes. No matter what it is, something is holding him back, and he refuses to actually be upfront with his feelings towards us. And that's also the reason that keeps us thinking that he had romantic feelings for our sister, and that's why he can't be close to us, because being close to us reminds him of our sister. He swallowed hard. The muscles in his jaw stood out in the silvers of moonlight that had come out from behind the clouds. Dragan turned around, crossed the room into strides, and rushed out. Your relationship seems to be getting clearer. You almost confessed you have feelings for each other. I hate this. The black sky erupted with thunder and lightning. When fire meets fate. Perron's curved arrows cut through the sky, illuminating the village swallowed by the fog for a moment. Simona searched the darkness for the source of her worry. It wasn't Dragan's fault. Thinking about him was almost as painful as thinking about Mylan. The power that had awakened in her, or was it a curse, was whispering the dire warnings. It wasn't just nature that was changing. People were changing too, including Simona. Something terrible is coming. As much as she wanted to run from Varia, her image, her spirit haunted her in reality, and thoughts and dreams. It's not just about my sister's death. I have started on a predestined path that leads into the darkness. I thought I was running away from fate, but I just took a step toward it. Varia is trying to break through the veil of another world, but all she can do is scare me with her clouded eyes and silently point that way. The rain pelted the window, and the wind howled, echoing the rhythm. It was the mournful song of that village on the outskirts saying goodbye to its quiet life. Dragan thinks I became a priestess because I can accept my sister's death. But he's wrong. I managed to let go of the past. I'm looking as far into the future as I can. And I see danger ahead, a danger that I will be prepared for.
I won't die like Varia. I won't let anyone take my life without fight. Even if one morning my body's found near the haze, the story of my struggle will be etched on it in stubborn handwriting. Isn't that what you want, Varia? Don't you want me to claw my way forward, my right to exist? Even dead, you keep teaching me. That's nice. You're glad that your sister protects and guides you. Who wouldn't want to have a saving grace by their side? Vera, you remain my guiding light. Simona closed the window and took off her clothes. Dressed only in her nightshirt, she got into bed. She couldn't sleep. She knew that another nightmare was waiting for her behind her closed eyelids. Meanwhile, the raindrops turned into steady blows, and the drumming on the roof sounded like an angry alarm bell. Well, what? The rain carried something more than just a thread. Its sounds came from the depths of time. Quietly but insistently, it spoke about what was hidden from sight, about what people didn't want to see but felt. Y'all, I'm petrified. What's going on? Okay. But the time of messages was over. Nav got tired of waiting. Okay. I'm petrified, y'all. Oh my god, is she clawing her way out? Oh my fucking god! Is that smoke? Yum, 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 yum. Y'all. Oh my god, y'all. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Y'all, not Varia saying, surprise bitch, bet you thought you seen the last of me. I'm clawing my way out from the dead. Even when I'm dead, I refuse to stay dead. She said I'm not done here. She said I am not going down. My goodness. No, y'all, but the hand was creepy as fuck. But oh well, we'll see what next episode will be like. Tell me in the comments what you think was best. I really hope you enjoyed this video because I sure as hell did. I literally took it all as it came. And I will see you in another video. Bye.